weekend. I guess I do have like an anecdote. I have podcast work. I've gathered a story from this weekend. I went to
All
another
right.
wedding. Fuck. And
Cool wedding this time.
but I'll get there. But
All right. All right.
as
By
a
the way,
fat
before you start this, it
yeah,
is kind of a hint when everybody your age is all of a sudden your friends
Getting
are getting
married.
married.
no,
Yeah.
I know. Well, yeah. Well, Seacham's like older than you'd think,
Is he?
and this friend is he's my age, but they've been dating for like 6 years, or no, like 9 years or something.
I'll be waiting for my invite in the mail for the poob wedding.
He'll get
Good wedding.
invited if it happens. He'll get invited. I mean, he'll probably be like fucking 50 or something. But
He's
Yeah.
marrying a fucking cardboard character
I met
cut
a
out or
girl.
something. Like,
Yeah. Anywho, I was at this wedding. It's one of my oldest friends and current Twitch mod, Isaac. I was at his wedding. I fucked up. I almost fucked up, I guess I should say. Borderline destroyed every most important part of a wedding for him. Like almost like when you think of the most important parts of a wedding. Okay. I wake up that morning. Oh fuck. Oh, what time is it? Oh my god, it'd be like 2 hours south and 2 hours, 5 minutes. I show up with like literally 3 minutes till it starts, and I run in there. I'm already like, I instantly realized I didn't see a dress code anywhere. I'm the only patron in a full suit besides the wedding party. I'm like, oh fuck. Like maybe I overdressed a little. I'm wearing the same thing I wore to Zeecham's wedding, but even nicer. And I see like a couple people from high school I haven't seen in years. I'm like, hey guys, hey, like, is there a bathroom here? Oh, it's downstairs. There's only 2 sets of stairs down the basement. I go down there, I go to the bathroom, I come out. The bride party's on one side, the groom party's on the other. I'm wearing the exact same suit as the entire groom party. And I was like, oh fuck, like we look identical. And they're like, dude, whoa, you could like stand in with us. I'm like, ha ha ha. And then I'm like thinking, like, oh my, if I go up before them, I have to get back to my seat before they start. They'll think I'm part of the wedding party, and then it'll be like an awkward. Everyone's gonna be looking at me as I'm like, hey, I'm actually going to the back row, like, but and then I go over to the other side, and the bride's side, and her dad's like, what are you doing? Like, go back over there, get out, get away from her. And I'm like, oh fuck. So I just sat in the basement for like 15 minutes as they all walked out and met, and like as the wedding started, and I crept up and get up there, I finally find my seat. And this is like not a bad part, but like, well, it's a little rude. I'm like talking to the guys next to me for this whole time. And I turn around, turns out like a girl we went to high school with and we're friends was sitting right behind me the whole time by herself. I never even noticed her. My bad. We walk out of the wedding, everything's done. They give you a little baggie with bubbles and what they throw like the flower petals on people. That shit where everyone lines up, or normally it's rice or something. I don't know.
No.
yeah,
I,
rice. Yeah.
I don't go to a lot
But
of like
rice
traditional
kills
weddings.
pigeons.
Okay, I don't give a shit about pigeons. So
Yeah, that's what
Fuck 'em.
I remember that whole thing.
I'm outside. I'm lined up with everyone. The bride and groom are coming. Everyone's cheering. I blow a couple bubbles. I take the top off the tube, and I do a very boneheaded move where, as they're about to walk by me, I even made a joke to my friend, like, "What if I just fucking like shot bubbles all over, like just threw it on her, like dumped it on his shoes or something?" They're like, I fucking grabbed the pedals with the same hand I'm holding this vial of open bubbles with. And I'm thinking like, well, I really got to throw this pedal because I grabbed one pedal and they weigh like nothing. So I
Yeah.
fucking like, bam, chuck it.
Like
And then
Gambit
see,
style?
no, yeah, I just see the bride look over and she's like, oh, Sam, what? And I look and there's a fucking wet trail from her back and all over her dress to down and like fucking on the concrete right where I'm standing because the vial was open. I shot soap all over her while she's walking past me. And I'm like, oh fuck. And I like put on my sunglasses, like take a step to the right, have my friend walk there. I'm like, man, what'd you do? Like, look at this. Like the other guy I'm with that I haven't seen in a couple of years, he just turned like bright red. Was like, dude, the fuck is wrong? Like, you can't like wait. That's her wedding dress. It's soap. Like it'll come out. Like, God, I hope it's not a rental or something. And then fast forward a couple hours, I'm like, I'm still thinking about that. I'm like, wow, that is the worst thing I've ever done at a wedding, and it's gonna get that was the worst. That was still the worst thing I did. But I'm like, it's over now. Like I can sit back, relax. best man's giving his speech. I sit back, I tilt back in these plastic lawn chairs, fucking breaks while he's giving his best man speech.
They're
like,
rentals.
I'm like, oh, like almost like I fucking grabbed the feet off the table, rip everything with me. And I'm like, oh, God, oh, thank God. Like, I don't think the best man didn't notice or anything, but all the people around me were like, what the fuck is that huge noise? And I'm like, bright red again. Like, oh, fuck. That night, we go to a cabin they rented in this town. Everyone's hanging out, getting crazy, little cabin in the woods style. And the next morning, I wake up. I'm so hungover. I wake up in the living room. Like, oh, I'm going to go crawl to a side room. I crawl in there because it's nice and dark. Go back to bed. No one wakes me up at any point. I wake up at like 1 p.m. and I'm like, ugh. Go out to the living room. It's just the bride and the groom in the house. And just the groom was down there. I'm like, oh, where is everyone? They're like, oh, they all left hours ago. We already went and had breakfast in town and everything. I was like, oh, what?
You're just
like,
along for the honeymoon.
Yeah,
Like,
I was like,
where are we going, dude?
Yeah,
What's
the
up?
cabin was their
I can get
honeymoon
something to
gift.
eat.
Was that they had it all day to themselves. And I've been there for fucking like 6 extra hours.
The entire day.
Yeah, and I was like, oh fuck, like
Make room on the couch.
Yeah.
You know? Hey, split you lovebirds.
And I like had to find
I
my
call the
shit all
middle
over
cushion.
the house. Yeah, I'm like, oh man, I'm so sorry. All right, see ya.
Oh, I just
Wait,
threw
their
up all over the
honeymoon was
master
just
bedroom. I'm sorry.
A cabin for the day? That was their honeymoon?
It's like 2 days they had it. Yeah, because they're just saving up to buy a house instead of doing like a real
Oh,
honeymoon.
Okay.
Yeah, the economy's not everyone makes so much money, Sam. Okay. But yeah, there's like I hit like beat for beat, like start a wedding, fucking walk out a wedding, best man speech, honeymoon. Like 4 for 4, just something happened. And I embarrassed myself. I'm like, I felt like a fucking wedding crash. I felt like Vince Vaughn. Didn't even get laid or anything. I was just, I don't know.
Well, nobody wants to fucking
well, I'm not gonna
the
get fucking
bubble throwing.
invited back.
You're breaking
The guy
asshole.
that fucking
Yeah, I know.
cum sharks the bride as she's walking by.
Then
Breaks
lay
the
right with
rental
that boy.
furniture. I want to
Yeah.
fuck that guy. That guy's
Yeah, I
ruining
know. I
everything.
felt like